Reaching far into the realms of unique, eye-catching and repeatable game titles is the next installment of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. A game that is so far seeing mixed reviews on Steam, but is also playable through Activision's own game client. Currently there is a vast number of game modes that cover small-scale 6v6 matches to the likes of Team Deathmatch, Domination and Headquarters, a free-for-all deathmatch, and larger-scale ground wars with teams of 32 players or Invasion with teams of 20. These larger maps facing off in the chaos of vehicle combat that scratches that battlefield itch quite effectively whilst we forget about 2142. The gunplay is fast-paced, back to speed similar to the days of, well, the original Modern Warfare 2, which means plenty of run and gun and lightning-fast quick time to kill, keeping anticipation high for what the hardcore mode will be like when it's out.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Oh mate, your care package just killed that guy.
For those that have to do things differently, there's a third-person option, so you can get cheeky peeks around corners and stare at your beautiful operators' skins and loadout. It's an experience that could have given Gears of War a run for its money, but lacks any dedicated third-person mechanics that would allow it to stand on its own 2 feet. Sadly, I do imagine it's destined to be forgotten amongst the better options, however. They've added a more modern-day layer of mechanics to the usual template through the likes of diving and sliding on the battlefield, as well as a tactical sprint that allows you to run faster at the expense of recovery time, which all adds a tactical feel to the gameplay. All well executed in our opinion, just offering a few more mobility options to hopefully discourage those scoundrels camping in corners as much. Well, at least that's my personal preference, and you'll still find much of what you might expect. The quick time to kill means the outcome of gunfights favours whoever pulls the trigger first. For those looking for more than just mindlessly jumping in, they've gone about challenges and unlocks in an interesting way that some will love and others won't. I guess you can say that about anything. But maybe you'll understand when I explain the design choice here. You'll start off with a bunch of preset loadouts only, that are each competitive options and cover the full range of combat available, close quarters, sniper, etc. Then you'll gain XP through playing to increase your level. This will unlock the use of new weapons, kill streaks and more to use in your own custom loadouts. What is unlocked at each level was predetermined so you can see what's coming up. However, if there was a specific weapon you were desperate to use, but locked behind a certain level, then you better get those games in because you aren't touching it until then. On top of this, you'll need to gain XP with each weapon to level those up. This will open up attachment slots so that you can customize the weapon further, as well as serving as a prerequisite to unlocking challenges for each weapon, to unlock camos, the golden, platinum and more. Unlocking attachments come from specific challenges, so if you want a certain scope for example, it may come from a requirement of reaching level 7 with a certain shotgun, meaning you can't just play that niche loadout you might only be interested in, but have to play and try out the full range of loadouts available if you're looking to unlock the full set of customization options. And it's down to you whether this is a good or bad thing.
The Call of Duty franchise seems to sway between the good and the bad, where some games hit the mark for FPS fans and some fall flat on their face. For me personally, the pendulum has been swinging more towards the flat on their face side, as the industry seems more concerned with squeezing every drop of cash out of their audience, and less concerned with giving their fans a good and finished final product. However, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 has had that pendulum swing all the way back to good old-fashioned fun. And for me, it takes all of the good areas of the last game, and pairs them with the best bits of older Call of Duty titles. This means that you've got an insanely quick time to kill, fast and intense gameplay, which I'm not ashamed to say I did get a little frustrated with at times, as I had to calibrate my playstyle from games like Apex Legends into this different, faster style of play. You also get great weapon customization, a rewarding experience and unlock system, well-designed maps, and a game that seems far more optimized and polished than the previous game. It seems to me like a fair amount of thought has been put into making things good from launch, rather than releasing a half-finished game that gets ironed out later. And who knows, maybe they learnt something from other games. Looking at you, Battlefield. The game modes keep their traditional Call of Duty staples like Team Deathmatch, HQ and Hardpoint, as well as the larger ground war games, meaning that there's a fair amount of flexibility for players who like different things. And although I haven't dived into them yet, there are co-op modes and a single player story, which seems to be a nice addition and something I want to get into, given that single player stories these days seem to be the first thing to be gutted. All in all, I am really enjoying the game, and I'd say it's the best Call of Duty game I've played in years so far. Does it have issues? Yes, there have been some weird lag spikes despite having good latency, and there have been some issues with hacking that Nex and I have experienced. But all in all, the experience has been great overall. The gunplay feels decent when you get used to how quickly you die and how the weapons feel, the game feels smooth and responsive, and most importantly, it's just good fun.
With all the successes of the Battle Royale gameplay loop, it's really nice to get into a game with more continuous action, working towards a win from the perspective of how you adapt in the next gunfight, regardless of winning or losing. This was once a staple gameplay loop in FPS gaming, and is not all that common these days, so it's nice to play one that's well put together. For us, COD Modern Warfare 2 has actually done a fantastic job of breathing some new life into what has been a stale franchise for us for quite a while. We haven't been very positive towards the last few titles, but this really has been fun to play, but not without its issues. What games are these days? But it's clear to see the design intent in modernising the gameplay a little, including the menus and UI, which despite looking pretty clean, can be a bit confusing to use at times, and even annoying, like when your party member queues for a game, and for some reason it takes you out of the menu you were in just so you can watch the queue timer go up or something. In terms of preferences, there weren't any standout maps to us, but due to the way you have to play a wide variety of guns to unlock attachments, or just because you're drip-fed access to them through the progression system, I ended up enjoying the vast majority of them, to be honest, most of which I wouldn't have used otherwise. I still hate getting blown up by some launcher in close quarters combat, instantly spawn killed, and surprised by how I was killed around a corner, only to be looking like I was standing still in front of the enemy when watching the kill cam. But this is the Call of Duty experience we all love to hate. I feel like we've seen a lot of negativity for the game so far, particularly around the quality of the launch. Apparently, random players and parties are crashing when you hop in game, the tuning weapon feature was crashing people and subsequently disabled so it could be fixed, and we'll have to see where things go from here, as these most likely won't be an issue soon, and to be honest, issues we didn't even come across ourselves. Apart from those, the stat pages when in-game seemed quite selective, opting to only give you information that is specific to the game type, so checking where you stand in relation to your kills and deaths is not possible in half of the objective modes, and what's more, there's no menu page that gives you a breakdown of your overall statistics in general. We all like to check out our KDA, don't we? So from our more casual perspective, we aren't huge COD fanboys and prefer the likes of Apex these days, but this title really hooked us back to this style of gunplay, and therefore we can recommend this title. And with the ranked competitive mode recently announced, well, we might just be here to stay.